the top 10 most powerful characters in Genshin Impact, according to the lore. Before Natlan arrives, I wanted to rank on who I think are the 10 strongest characters in the game, when looking at the lore. However, I won't include archons, plus Neuvilette, as that list would be too easy and predictable. I am also only considering released, playable characters. Now, let's begin. At number 10, barely making it to the list, we have Klee. She is a young pyromaniac, in the care and service of the Knights of Favonius, holding the title of Spark Knight. She is the daughter of Alice, an adventurer that Albedo describes as a near-omnipotent sorceress, and is very powerful, having mastery over magic, alchemy, and astrology. She left Klee, but not before bestowing her with an arsenal of knowledge on how to make things go boom. She is known for changing parts of Mondstadt's landscape with her bombs, though it's mostly by mistake. She once assisted Jean in fending off enemies using her explosives. While her bombs proved to be very effective, she also ended up blowing off chunks of the Stormbearer Mountains. This just proves how powerful she really is. Much more so, if she actually gets mad and serious. In her birthday letter, she destroyed the Primogeo Bishop, without even breaking a sweat, not even seeing it as a threat. Even her story quest is called, "Who is the strongest fighter in Mondstadt?" clearly hinting she is extremely powerful. As it happens, luck is also on her side, with it being her constellation, the exact opposite of Bennett. I also thought she would be quite frail, but considering she hasn't sustained any injuries from the use of her explosives so far, she must be pretty durable too. I only put her in number 10, because she is still quite young, and definitely lacks the age and experience, compared to everyone else on this list. For the 9th spot, we have Child. He is the 11th of the 11 Harbingers. He wields a Hydrovision, an Electro-Delusion, and can transform into his foul legacy form if necessary. Wherever he goes, danger follows, and he is always eager for a challenge, making him extremely dangerous despite being the youngest member. When he was 14, he ran away from home and his mundane life. He ventured to the unknown, only to be lost in a snowy forest. He then fell upon the very abyss itself. While he's in there, he meets Skirk, a very powerful sword master, who is adept in many forms of martial arts. She honed Child to become the war machine that he is now. For 3 months, Skirk taught and trained him on how to fight in the abyss, until he eventually escaped. Although he lost against the Traveler in a duel, he is still shown to be quite powerful and capable. In the Fontaine Archon quest, he fought off the all-devouring Narwhal for over 45 days, even managing to protect everyone in the courtroom. He mentions that he is also a master in almost all types of weapons, but is the least skilled with the bow, which is precisely why he uses it. Similar to Klee, he is only this high up on this list because he is still quite young and lacks the patience and experience. For the number 8th spot in this ranking, we have the Illuminated Beast, Ganyu. She is a half-human, half-Adeptus hybrid, under contract with the Geo Archon. She is also the secretary for the government of Li Wei, managing to handle a job that even 3 people together can't. She fought in the Archon War, alongside Rex Lapis, without having a vision yet, and managed to survive. That alone is a testament to her strength and power. Although she prefers to work behind the scenes at the moment, and no longer hones her combat skills, she seems to still be powerful, being an Adeptus, and all. Not to mention, that during the fight against Osial's wife, she seemed to be prepared to freeze the entire sea beast with only a charged attack, but then Shenhe stepped in first, and did it herself. I could be overestimating her a little bit in this ranking, but at the very least, I think she's more powerful than most strong mortals. For the 7th spot, on the most powerful character in the lore, we have Yamiko. She is the head shrine maiden of the Grand Inarukami Shrine, and a descendant of the Kitsune lineage. Most importantly, she is the Electro Archon's familiar, servant, and friend. She is mentioned to be the strongest supernatural creature out there in her story quest. It is also stated in Kagura Verity's lore that she disposes of evil monsters in her free time to keep the common folk safe. She can also create clones, catalysts that mimic someone's attack patterns, and can shape-shift to whatever she wants. She can do all of these tricks without even utilizing her electrovision. Not to mention that she has excellent memory, able to recall every detail with perfect clarity. Combined with her having lived for very long, at least 500 years, there is no doubt she is very experienced and proficient in most situations. Although we haven't seen much of her fighting prowess in the game, her unique abilities, and people's high regard for her power, make me place her in the number 7th spot. For the number 6th spot, we have another non-human, who we thought didn't have a human form at first. It's Cloud Retainer. She is one of the few remaining Adepti, found in the region of Liyue, and like the Coco Goat, she fought and survived in the Archon War, the most gruesome conflict in recent history. She generally spends her time away from humans, in human settlements, but occasionally visits the harbor. During the Moonlight Festival, she was revealed to be a master in invention and engineering. She created the Supreme Cuisine Machine, the Damask device, and is implied to have made Yao Yao's bunny companion. She also helped in the fight against Osiao. Lastly, she trained and raised both Ganyu and Shinhe, who became two powerful people in the lore. Ganyu even made it on this list, and Shinhe became a huge contributor to their victory against Osiao's wife, despite just being human, so of course their master who trained them is also powerful. For the number 5 spot, we have another famous character from Liyue, Xiao. He is an Adeptus, an illuminated beast, and the sole surviving member of the 5 foremost Kyaxius, dispatched by the Geo Archon. Their goal was to subdue the demonic spirits that plagued Liyue. Basically, he fought the vengeful wrath of the slain gods for years, which just shows how powerful he is. Not to mention, he also has fought in the Archon War, and holds a high level of seniority, even among the Adepti. Unlike Ganyu and Cloud Retainer, he still keeps his fighting skills sharp, choosing to protect Liyue in any way he can. It is said that if you ever see him in battle, you'd have to be very lucky to survive, proving how destructive his attacks really are. However, over the years, the hatred that he had to suppress tainted his soul in the form of karmic debt. It deals enormous physical and psychological pain to him, even now, and was the reason for some of the other Yaksha's death. He still struggles with karmic debt, causing him to be a little weaker, but definitely not enough to cause a significant downgrade. For the 4th spot on this list, barely not making it to the top 3, we have our boy Wanderer. He was the 6th of the 11 Harbingers, before making everyone forget him. He is a prototype puppet, created by the Electro Archon, with the intention of him being indestructible. The 2nd Harbinger, known as the Doctor, also made some adjustments to the prototype, not only unsealing his power, but very likely rendering him even more formidable than his original specifications, and the object of divine creation. He would also constantly lead a company to explore the abyss, the same abyss Child fell into. More than once he was wounded, then repaired by the Doctor, and thus he grew stronger, surviving to be wounded again by ever mightier foes, until he's strong enough to defeat most of everyone there. In the Archon quest, he received his vision, and in his Wanderer incarnation, fought a near Archon version of himself, on his own. He also got hit by a giant laser beam, and it didn't seem like he got damaged or hurt at all. So, I would say he is both very powerful and durable. For the illustrious number 3 spot, we have none other than the main character, Traveler. He is known as the 4th Descender, who can wield multiple elements, without even needing a vision. As the game goes on, and the more elements he collects from the nations, the stronger he gets. For his feats, he has no shortage of triumphant victories against strong enemies. He defeated the Electro Archon in a duel, although he did get some outside help, and got destroyed the first time they fought. He defeated Scara when he turned into a god, in which we lost to him 168 times consecutively, finally beating him. After Anahita gives us the memories of the 168 losses, and having these fights analyzed by the entire nation of Sumeru. We defeated Child, even after using his foul legacy form, in a pretty fair battle. The Traveler also won against the rank 8th of the Harbingers, in a clean and fair duel before the throne, even after using her Crimson Witch of Flames form. We also won against this powerful, Abyssocianid monster, with the power to create life. So, no doubt the Traveler is powerful, and probably even deserves first place, as the strongest character. But as of now, he hasn't regained back all his power yet, so I only placed him 3rd. Also, we lost to a different playable character. For the runner-up, on the strongest playable character in the lore, we have Albedo. He is a synthetic human, created by his master Gold, a very powerful alchemist, around the same level as Alice. The reason he is so strong, and why he got number 2 on the list, is because he possesses a very special talent. The ability to create and change life. Chemia is a powerful form of alchemy that was said to have brought the godless nation's destruction. Only 2 people have mastered it, Gold and Albedo, after reading his master's notes. That means he possesses a form of alchemy that can destroy entire nations, which just shows the immense amount of power he holds. Not to mention, it is hinted at in his story quest that he is powerful enough to destroy Mondstadt. He is so strong, to the point that Dane himself says he would step in if things got out of control. This is the same person who only deals with things on the scale of gods and the Abyss Order. Although he isn't much of a combatant, unlike the others here, he is by far the most dangerous and the most threatening out of everyone, well, except maybe one other character. For the number 1 spot, on who I think is the most powerful character in the lore, I chose Arlecchino. She is the 4th of the 11 Harbingers, and the current director of the House of the Hearth. She is a descendant of the Crimson Moon dynasty, from the Fallen Nation, which is the source of the Bale Moon blood fire, running through her veins. As a child, she ended up eliminating the Harbinger, who had previously directed the House of the Hearth, and succeeded her. Probably most important of all, she defeated the Traveler and her kids with absolute ease. This is huge, considering the Traveler she fought is much stronger, now being able to control 5 elements, while the Traveler the 8th Harbinger fought only had 3 elements. She is also ranked 4th in the Harbingers, when we now know it's ranked by strength, with the top 3 Harbingers being comparable to gods, so she's on the cusp of greatness. She even went after and attacked who she thought was the Hydro Archon at the time, so she's so confident in her strength and abilities that she's willing to attack an Archon, all on her own. No doubt she is the most powerful, if we take out Archons and Sovereigns. What do you guys think of my ranking? Are there other characters that you think should have been on here, or maybe I placed a character too highly on the list? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Give a like if you ended up enjoying this video, and subscribe to see more of my future videos. It's good to be back. Bye.